Hello everyone, and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3 5th edition. That's right, we're back with patch 4, including Druids, as well as some extra rules that I've concocted for our 5th edition run, where we take rules from Tabletop Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition and sidle them into Baldur's Gate 3. First of all, we'll get through the opening cutscene, and then we'll get to building our new character. If you want to skip around, please use the progress bar down below. You'll see some timestamps if you've seen these cutscenes before. Who will we be this time? Well, let's cut and find out. And here we have our new hero. This is Andrew, named after one of my new subscribers. I thought, rather than picking a random dwarvish name from a website, I could do something to say thank you for subscribing. So, he is a folk hero with animal handling and survival proficiencies. A golden dwarf. That means not only do we get our plus constitution, poison resistance, dark vision, but we also get +1 wisdom for our druidic powers, and we get a little extra HP, which should help keep us alive a little longer this time. Class is druid. We have our cantrips and some spells prepared, wisdom and intelligence saving throws, and various proficiencies that don't quite fit into the simple or martial weapon proficiencies, as well as a pool of spells that we can select each time we long rest, because we are a caster that gets to choose their spells every time they rest rather than being locked into the spells they pick. Other skills, we have medicine and nature. And our abilities, we've gone 8 strength, 14 dex, 16 constitution, 8 intelligence, 16 wisdom, and 12 charisma. The wisdom is important because not only is it our key stat for choosing how we go about doing our spell casting, but if we knock this down to 14, you'll see this changes to +2. Our spells go down to 3, because I believe currently this is your druid level plus your spell casting modifier. So if we go back to abilities and pop this up to 16, you'll see we now have 4 slots. I wanted fog cloud, please. So that's our hero, and hopefully, Andrew, you're not too offended that we've gone for one of the shorter races. I have no idea who you are as a person, other than that you're lovely and comment on my videos, so I hope you'll enjoy joining this Andrew on our adventures. But for now, let's venture forth.
Tell me, who do you dream of at night?
Possibly this lovely halfling. I still don't know if this is pertinent to anything that happens in the early access content or not, but someday we'll find out, and then maybe when we do, we'll think more about this decision when we make it. Well, this is an unpleasant place to find ourselves. And we've clipped through the floor.
My head.
And we're off. So, if this is the first time you're joining me for Baldur's Gate 3 5th edition, thank you ever so much for taking the time to watch my video. The basic premise of this series is that we take this video game that was created by Larian Studios, that is currently in early access, that is largely designed around the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign setting, or one of them. But there's lots of things that are in the video game version that have been changed and adapted from the tabletop role-playing game that I want to kind of take back to the true D&D tabletop experience where possible. And so first thing that we have to do is in patch 4 they introduced weighted dice rolls. So let's just check our options here. Weighted dice is off. That's how we want it. We want all of our dice rolls to be true and accurate, even if we know that means that from our experience playing tabletop Dungeons & Dragons, we're going to miss more dice rolls than we get, especially in the early game. It also means that as we go through, of course we can save the game to come back to the campaign another day, but we cannot save the game to re-roll something or see how something might have changed if we made a different decision. We're stuck with the decisions that we've made, we're stuck with the dice rolls that we get, and if the party TPKs, then that's the end of the story and we have to re-roll from the beginning and try again with a different character perhaps. Previously I had done this after my first party got completely wiped. We decided that I would retry with a cleric so that we'd have 2 clerics on the team. That way we have 2 healers. If one goes down, the other can have a chance to revive them and so forth. However, this time, just before we meet Lae'zel, we are playing a druid. Druids do get healing spells, and so by the time we recruit Shadowheart later, we'll have 2 healers in the party, and that means that we'll have a better chance of staying alive, hopefully. Here's Lae'zel.
Abomination. This is your end.
Your head throbs and your skin tingles. Visions rush past. A dragon's wing, a silver sword, and a flash of your face seen through the strange woman's eyes.
Ugh. My head. What is this? Ugh. Skvar. You are no thrall. Vlaakith blesses me this day. Together, we might survive. Imps block the path forward. You will assist me in destroying them. We must reach the helm before we transform.
Yes, I do not want to transform
First,
into
we
a
stand
tentacle-faced
on
creature.
Then we find the helm and take control of the ship. We will address the matter of a cure for this infection once we reach the material plane.
So just before we get into this fight, we'll show off one of our new druidic skills. If I hover over the main attack icon here at the moment, you'll see that our staff does 1d8 minus 1 bludgeoning damage. That's so we roll an 8-sided dice to see how much damage we do, and we minus 1 because our strength stat is 8, and so that qualifies for a minus 1 on all of our skills and checks that relate to using strength. However, because we're a druid, we have the Shillelagh cantrip, and we can cast that on ourselves while we're wielding a quarterstaff or a club, and now you'll see it does 1d8 plus 3. This is because we are now using our wisdom modifier in order to use that weapon. It will also mean that when we make our attack rolls, we use our wisdom spellcasting ability as our attack stat rather than our strength. So rather than a minus 1 to our attack rolls, we'll have a plus 3 to our attack rolls, which is excellent. So let's get engaged with these creatures. So because the game is nice, you'll see that these creatures up here are all surprised. That means for this round, when it's their turn, they will do nothing, and then they will start attacking us when the action comes back round to them on their second turns. We also have Thorn Whip. This does some damage at a range of 30 feet and has a chance to pull the enemies closer. And when our turn ends, we can click that there. Now, Lae'zel is a fighter. She has her greatsword as well as a bow and arrow. We can't close in the distance to attack with the sword, but we can shoot off her bow and arrow there. Some good hits to start. So those creatures have now expelled their surprised condition. They will attack us on their next opportunity. We're close enough now to try and hit this guy with our stick. And that's 10 XP for us. And we'll move back around over here ready to engage the next fight. They hit us for 2 damage. Luckily we have 12 HP at the moment because we're one of the tougher classes. And by classes I mean races, excuse me. We'll just hit with our sword here. The different classes, so fighters, druids, clerics and so forth, have a base value for how their health is calculated. And so for fighters that's a D10. So you can see that Lae'zel has 10 HP plus 2 because we can go into her stat page now and she has 14 constitution. That means her constitution modifier is plus 2, so her health is 10 plus 2, whereas ours as a druid is 8, but we have 3 constitution and we get 1 extra for being a dwarf, putting us on 12. Now, Lae'zel, you have had an action. We're not going to spend a bonus action doing anything, so we'll let them take their attack. They miss us. And now we are currently at the same period of initiative. We can decide who's going to take the first action, since Lae'zel is right here. And that went just about as smoothly as it can.
Surprisingly adequate in battle.
I'll switch over to Andrew and loot some bodies. Nothing there. There's a crossbow down here. And there's some incinerated mind flayers that might have some potions for us. Some kind of bulb things. It's a potion of speed. That gives us haste, which lets us act twice in a turn for 3 turns. Does this imp have an axe? They do. We'll take that as well. These things are scattered around the ship. They just give you full health in the introduction. They also refresh all of your skills and spell slots if you expended any during that fight, just as kind of a hand-holding through the opening stages of the game. It matches our tattoo. Okay, moving right along. Oh, there's some more of those guys here. Can we close this gap in 1 turn? We can. And then it's our turn. We can close this gap, but currently we are using our strength again. However, Shillelagh is a bonus action. You'll see at the bottom of the screen here we have 1 green circle and 1 blue triangle. That represents actions and bonus actions, and each spell or task in the game typically has an associated action or bonus action. And typically you can only take one or the other. So we can spend our bonus action on ourselves this turn to cast Shillelagh on our quarterstaff, and then we can move in and attack the wounded imp. Nice and simple. We will remain as our character for the looting, because Lae'zel won't be with us, spoiler alert, after the introduction. Not going to worry about these folks. Unfortunately, they're doomed, and we cannot help them. Any gold here? Yes, give me the gold. I thought this was Shadowheart for a second. It's not, just the same haircut. In fact, a couple of doors here and we'll meet Shadowheart. Just have to attack our way through this lovely membrane. And we'll be right on our way. So, having explained actions and bonus actions there are a few things that the player characters can do, such as jump and disengage as a bonus action, and shove as a bonus action. But I will be changing the way I treat those because in the tabletop game, the encounters, the actions, excuse me, are slightly different, and I'm trying to obey those rules as best I can.
You! Get me out of this damn thing! We have no time for stragglers.
Oh, come on, we can do something. Arcana check. -1 from our poor intelligence. That'll go well. Oh, it did go well.
Warding runes. The pod won't open unless they're destroyed.
Alright, how do I destroy a rune?
Are you satisfied? We need to go.
Wait! That can't be. There has to be another way. Please!
It cannot be helped. Come.
I'm sorry, but I get a funny feeling we'll find each other later. Just through here, there is a skittering mind flare, intellect devourer, but if we go into turn-based mode, the world will freeze around us, and it's like we're in initiative for rolled combat. So now we can make a magic stick and attack with the magic stick.
Keep your wits about you. They won't
Lae'zel can join the fight. Very nearly dead, but we'll get them on the next turn, I'm sure. One of us will. Excellent. And then just at the other end of this room, I know, having done this a few times now, there is a body with some things we want over here. Key and a piece of gold. So, as I was saying, disengaging is going to cost us a full action if we wish to get away, and shoving is a full action as a variant of a special attack action in tabletop D&D. We will take this necklace and this scroll of false life, this scroll of inflict wounds, and we will open this reliquary with the key we just found. And I don't think we spent any resources,
We
but
are nearing the helm.
we will heal
Once
before we go into
inside,
this final
do
room.
as I say.
Nice and refreshed. And see what's going on in the helm. Oh, that looked uncomfortable.
Connect the nerves of the transponder. We must escape now.
Do it. We will deal with the gate after we escape.
We need to get out of here, now.
That sounds like a great plan. Any stuff to pick up along the way? Absolutely. We will use our action here to dash. That doubles our speed for the turn. That's this orange bar. And let's just cast Shillelagh on ourselves as a bonus action just in case. Lae'zel can get into the fight. Start with the archery. Critical miss, you see there. So every time you make an attack roll, you either... Well, you always roll a d20. Let's see if we can find the attack roll. So attack roll. 1 critical exclamation point, 1d20. So Lae'zel rolled a d20, a 20-sided dice, and rolled a 1 on that. So even if proficiency and dexterity modifier for her attack were plus 20 because she was some legendary creature, rolling a 1 is always a miss. So when you see critical attack or critical miss, it's because you rolled a 1 for a miss or a 20 for a hit. So a 1 will always be a miss, but on 20 you double the dice that you roll for the damage, which is always very welcome. Let's fight our way along here. Good, I want the XP. Get toe-to-toe with this person. We don't need to cast Shillelagh again because that lasts, I believe, for a minute. Yes, you see, I can't move my mouse to show you, but just next to inflicts Shillelagh there, you'll see that it says 10. That is 10 rounds of combat. You can also see that it's the staff is glowing, which indicates that it's still active. And if we get to the end of this scene within 10 turns, you'll see that it's also glowing during the cutscene, which is quite cute.
If this ship hits the ground, we're dead.
No extra loot there, we'll keep moving.
It's clear. Hurry, before they strike.
There's 3 more over there. That's our movement from our last turn spent. Lae'zel can dash to get back into the fight. Lae'zel has 30 feet of movement per turn or 60 with dash, whereas we as a dwarf only have 25 feet or 50 with dash. That's why we were able to catch up so quickly. No, we can get a Thorn Whip in here. And then on shared initiative, Lae'zel can move in to finish that guy off. Keep moving forward. We are out of movement, so we're done. Wonder, can we... we're on shared initiative, so Lae'zel, please step to the side slightly. Then Thunder Wave. We'll catch just the 2 enemies, but not Lae'zel, please. And then Lae'zel. 1 HP left. So close. It's alright, we'll finish them in the next turn and then touch the transponder at the end of the room and hopefully get out of this with as much XP as we can get without worrying about these 2 great big burly guys on the other side of the room. Good stuff. Not enough movement, but we can still dash.
Alien transponder. You've made it in time.
And there we are. Back on the beach.
I'm in one piece.
Alive. And ready to go look for some companions, more resources, and see about making some progress on our quest to get this tadpole removed from the back of our eyes. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please do consider subscribing. We'll be back every day about 3:30 PM British time. It's GMT. And if you don't know what the rules are that I'll be following in full, you can find them linked in the description below, as well as to a playlist that will go you through the entire series if you're looking to find a certain area, a certain part of the campaign. Thank you ever so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.